Guys, so I'm gonna do a quick video about creating reader magnets for non-fiction. So I did a video about fiction, and it's gonna be a bit of a step-by-step thing today. And basically, you're giving your lead magnet here, your reader magnet for the non-fiction thing, as an incentive for hopefully people to sign up to your email list, join your universe, right? So I'm gonna show you how to create one, even if you don't have anything right now. You're gonna learn how to do that from scratch. Okay, so alright, first things first, what's a reader magnet? It's basically something that's, free, it's helpful, okay, specifically to solve maybe a problem or give someone a quick insight or quick win, right? So when it comes to nonfiction, think of things like checklists, templates, workbooks, mini guides or something, some email challenge maybe, resource or swipe files or something like that, right? So it for nonfiction specifically, it solves a problem, a specific problem, or it gives someone specific insights, so it's like easy to digest and very easy to produce as well, actually, and we'll show you very soon. So yeah, I mean, it depends on what niche you're in. Like, if you're doing like the finance niche, maybe it's like a budget thing, or maybe it's an investment tracker or something like that. And you can apply it to anything else, just run it through AI and, you get a bunch of ideas, or Google or something, and you can just create your own. Okay, so that's what a reader magnet is. Just a few examples. Let's dive into Canva, and then I'm going to show you how I create my reader magnets. Alright, so log into Canva, completely free, create your account, and then click on create a design on the left hand side here, and then I go to custom size, and this is, it depends on what you're doing. If it's like a free download, then I'm not too fussed really, just use whatever size you like. Or if you're doing like a for example, a workbook that you may want to do as a low or no content or medium content kind of PDF, or even an actual low content book, a journal kind of thing. And let's start with that, because that's probably the easiest to understand. So 6x9, the book size. So I'm doing this assuming you may want to do it as a actual journal in the future. All right, so first things first, I'm going to call this lead magnet example 6x9. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with basic shapes. Okay, so basic shapes, probably the most useful thing, and you'll see why very quickly, because everyone should know how to do like a line journal, for example. I always suggest people do that. Nothing inside, or you can put a black, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But obviously, if you don't have any filling, then it doesn't look very nice, and you may actually lose track of the box. So what I'm doing here is I'm doing one over here on the left. I'm going to Control C, so I'm just going to Control C, Control V, so I have another one. And I have one over here, and this is basically going to be the margins. Okay, so you have your inside and outside. Now, just for ease of creating this, I'm making it the same size. These are the same size. In reality, if you're doing a printable book, so if it's like so this would be perfect for a PDF download. But if you're doing like an actual journal, this would be, if it's the inside gutter, then it will be smaller, right? Or larger, depending on, sorry, if it's the inside, it'll be larger, and if it's the outside, this might be a bit smaller, right? But basically, for simplicity, I'm having them the same size, so it doesn't really matter what size it is, to be honest. I'm just using this as an example. But if you want to get the like inside gutter and margin on the outside, then you want to check for KDP's margins criteria. So that's number one. You want to do that. What you also want to do is you want to have like either have a shape over here for the top. Okay, so this is 0.5, 0.6, so I'm going to put 0.5 over there, and again, nothing on the inside, but I'm going to shade the outside so we know what we're talking about. So that will be the top, right? So there's a bit of space on top, and then Control C, I'm going to paste that, and sorry, so Control C, Control V there. So I'm going to drag this down to the bottom over here. Okay, so we are concerned about everything inside, right? So this is our design area. Now, if you want to do like a tracker or something like that, you know, the best thing I suggest is doing something like this. So go to the middle, there you go. So what I'm doing is I'm spacing things out a little bit, all right? So I'm spacing things out. So this is one box, and then there's another box, and it'll become apparent why I'm doing this, and it doesn't take long to do, okay? So now, if you want to think of your whatever content you're making, you can think of it in 4 quadrants, or you can think of it as like just one half at the top, half at the bottom, or you can split this into further like if you don't want 4 quadrants, you may want to split into multiple quadrants over here, okay? And then that'll be kind of where you can fill in the blank if you like. So over here, let's say I'm doing I don't know, I'll add a heading over here. So let's say this one is like right here, okay? So that could be, for example, budget, I don't know, weekly budget, all right? And then you gotta make that smaller a little bit, and then you can make that fit over here. So you just drag that, so that'll be a weekly budget, and then copy and paste that, and then this could be like, I don't know, whatever it is, weekly habit or daily habit tracker, right? And then you can have your weekly budget and a few lines here, and then you just add those lines. It's really quite straightforward. So you do one line here, and you just copy that and paste that, and then you have that there. And Canva makes it really intuitive. You know, you can see the 0.625, that's the equal spacing here, and then another one. So there you go. So that could be like one thing. Now, if you don't want to have like different quadrants, maybe you just have one thing in total. So maybe we do it like that. So there's one line, and instead of 2 quadrants here, you may just have the 1 quadrant here, right? So over here, instead of worrying about this, you want to have it at 0 degrees. If you can see 0 degrees. Yeah, there you go. So there's one line, and you copy and control that, and then you can, again, 0.625, make sure the spacing is even. It's all really quite intuitive. It's really easy to do. And this one obviously has to align on the left and right. Okay, so just bear with me. We'll do one more just for example. Okay, and then over here, the weekly budget, you would have that wording perhaps somewhere over here, you know, and then it could be like monthly goals. So, you know, monthly goals, whatever it is, right? So you can kind of split your page into 4 quadrants and then decide what you want. Now, how I do this, I like to like scribble down on a piece of paper, literally scribble down what I would like to see on a page, and then that might be, you know, one page, and then you can add another page to you know, do something else. So let's duplicate the page. I'm going to get rid of everything inside, so delete all that, and then this might be a second page of something else, you know, instead of splitting into quadrants. Over here it might be like notes or something. So instead of notes, it might be guide of how to use whatever you're producing, right? So this is just an idea. Obviously it's not specific to anything, but I just want to get you thinking about things. I like to do in quadrants, and then you can put, like, if you fancy, you can put little symbols or graphics over here, right? So this will be just a start for you to use as an idea thing. I'm gonna show you where I like to get ideas for these low content stuff. But yeah, you have to decide what you want to offer in your free, you know, lead magnet. and then start creating it. It's really not difficult. It's not difficult to create at all, you know. And you can just use Canva, and then what you want to do is you can go to share, and you can download it, pages 1 to 2. And I like to do it as a PDF, standard, because it's more likely to be for emailing and just people downloading. But you can do PDF prints if you want to use it for like KDP or something, right? The low content stuff. So yeah, this is how I would go about creating my lead magnet. But let's jump into how I would get different bits, like extra ideas and maybe some graphic bits to put in to your low content, no content, medium content stuff. You know, just to spruce things up. You definitely don't want to copy what other people have, but you know, like a daily tracker is probably going to be 99% similar, and you probably, you know, add your own flair. So let's dive into how I would change things up to make it my own. Okay, so here's Creative Fabrica. I've got a affiliate link if you want to check that out. You don't have to, but this is where I like to go for like ideas. Okay, so you can do like KDP, you know, niches, low content stuff, and just have a look at what people have. You know, budget planner or something like that, you know. And you can see, you know, they got templates that you can download. These are ready made for you. Okay, so the things I like to check out is you want to make sure it has commercial licensing, for example. You know, make sure that's, so for if you're selling it especially, you want to make sure you have the licenses that's appropriate for you. Okay, anyway, so this is just an example. Now I personally don't, you know, use these exactly as it is, because I want to spruce things up. So if you wanted to spruce things up, you can obviously, you know, replicate most of what they have, but you don't have to. Like, these are all color coded. You know, you can easily just add more lines, you know. So maybe zoom in a little bit, and then instead of splitting into 2 quadrants up here and 1 quadrant, you can split into 4 columns, for example. So you have like a few columns there. Think of this as like 1 column and another column here, and then 1 block at the end. So just think of it in terms of boxes. That's how I like to compartmentalize things. So yeah, you can easily, you know, reproduce that, and then maybe have like a guide on how you would use your offering. So this is specific to what you are offering, right? Which is why sometimes I don't really like to use these things, but it's okay if what you are offering is generic, right? And if you wanted to spruce things up yourself, maybe use something like I like deposit photos, and you know, maybe just have a look for some kind of graphic, you know, like a pen or something, like a pen graphic, and then, you know, maybe you want to stick this, right, a pen graphic into over here, right? You can totally do that. Pen, maybe just have a look, and then you can. So these are, the ones from Creative. Sorry, this is the one from Canva, and then, you know, if you wanted to, you can use Canva. Just make sure you're happy with the licensing, as I mentioned. Pencil, maybe not design. Elements. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, there you go. Okay, so just make sure that you have the appropriate licensing and you're happy with it. Okay, so I personally have deposit photos, like credits, so that's where I would go personally. You can also have a look at Creative Fabrica to see if there's any like ready-made or something that you can replicate, that you're happy to replicate. You don't have to, you know. But that's just an idea. If you're out of ideas, take a look at what other people have done, right? You can obviously look on Amazon, KDP, to see what other people have done. So these are just some ideas for you to create your own lead magnet, and maybe spruce it up with your own graphics that you can get. Again, just make sure you're happy with the licensing, because that's quite important, so you don't get caught out, or you know, have people sue you or something. So anyway, those are some tips for lead magnets. So once you got your lead magnet put together, have a PDF, you can use places like BookFunnel, Story Origin, or your email marketing platform, and just have like maybe a Google Drive, Google Drive kind of link, or you know, Dropbox or something, and just in your email just say, here's the link, go download it. Or you can use stuff like Bookfun or Story Origin. So yeah, that's how you would deliver the lead magnet. Lead magnets is just one part of the puzzle of the book marketing machine. Check out this video here if you want more ideas on marketing your book, or check out this video that YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. Subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.